Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are really jumping into a world thick with tension. Think high-stakes politics driven by biology, loyalty tested constantly, and where every choice feels like life or death.
Absolutely. And we're zooming in on this incredibly complex dynamic between a very unique hybrid individual and, well, the alpha who carries a devastating piece of her past.
Right, specifically Serena, who's half human, half were, and Koen Alexander, the Alpha of the Northwest Pack.
Yeah, and understanding their story means getting into the weeds of were biology, pack law, deep trauma, and this one specific covenant Koen has to break, basically, to keep his mate alive. It's intense.
Okay, so let's start with Serena, sometimes called Eva. Her existence itself is kind of a big deal in this world.
A very big deal. The sources call her an interspecific cross, which sounds technical, but it just means half human, half were. And this isn't common at all.
How did it even happen?
Apparently through random genetic mutations that just happen to make humans and wares reproductively compatible. It's presented as a biological anomaly.
And how does that play out for her physically? Is she more were or human?
She's sort of in the middle. Her strength, her senses, her healing, they're better than a human's, but not full were level, mid-range. And a key biological marker. Her blood is red, human red, not the standard were color.
Interesting detail. But her life hasn't just been about unusual biology, has it? There's significant trauma there.
Oh, absolutely. Before Koen and the pack, her history is really dark. We know she was raised essentially as a companion for a vampire named Collateral Misery.
Just the name alone, Collateral Misery, tells you a lot.
It really does. And after that, sources mention abduction, imprisonment. It's led to diagnosed complex PTSD. So that's the background she's carrying.
A heavy background. But there's a more immediate threat now, isn't there? Something physical.
Yes. A ticking clock. It's a medical condition called cortisol surge disorder, CSD.
CSD. Okay, what is that exactly?
It's a degenerative illness found in wares, and it can be fatal. The really alarming thing here is that CSD usually affects older wares.
But Serena's young.
Exactly. So for her to have it means it's rare, it's incredibly aggressive, and the sources say it's progressing much faster than expected.
What are the symptoms? How does it manifest?
It's brutal. We're talking high fevers, getting worse each night, sleepwalking, which is terrifying in itself, blackouts, and maybe the most devastating for someone who is part were.
What's that?
A shift block. She can't shift into her wolf form.
Wow. For a wearer, shifting is fundamental, isn't it? Like core to their identity and control.
Completely. It's power, it's instinct, it's self. So a shift block isn't just a physical symptom, it's like an existential crisis. It's eroding who she is.
And the prognosis.
Grim. The medical people are direct. They tell her plainly her condition is deteriorating rapidly and it's considered not compatible with life.
So she's literally dying. That sets the stakes incredibly high.
It's the ultimate deadline. If something doesn't change, she won't survive.
Which brings us squarely to Koen Alexander, the Alpha of the Northwest Pack. Tell us about him. What's his deal?
Koen is formidable, intense, extremely pragmatic, runs his pack with an iron fist, known for his zero-strike policy. Not a guy for warm fuzzies.
How does he communicate, if not warmth?
Authority. Pure, undiluted authority, sometimes veiled threats. He's unapologetic about control. Like when Serena's condition comes up, his response isn't sympathy, it's...
What does he say?
He basically tells her, if you think I'm going to let you die, Serena, you know fuck all. It's protective, yes, but it's the protection of a commander guarding something vital, not gentle.
Okay, so a very controlled, duty-focused alpha.
Yeah.
But then biology throws a wrench in the works.
A huge wrench. The were-mate bond. The moment he meets Serena, bam, it hits him.
And for wares, this isn't like, oh, I think I'm falling in love. It's physical.
It's deeply physiological. The sources describe a chain of physiological changes kicking in. It's biological destiny almost. Irresistible.
But Koen resists.
Oh, he fights it with everything he has. He's the alpha, right? Embodiment of control. This bond feels like the ultimate loss of that control. He gets genuinely angry, outraged even, if anyone suggests they're mates.
So how does he handle it, if he's feeling this pull but denying it?
His actions become really possessive, but framed as protection. He threatens to lock her up. I'm simply going to lock you up, killer. It's not romantic. It's about managing the situation through forced proximity, trying to control the uncontrollable biology through sheer willpower and confinement.
But how can willpower override something described as so fundamentally biological? What gives him the strength, or maybe the reason, to even try?
That's the crux of it. He pits biology against duty, and that duty is tied to a very specific, very important pack rule, the celibacy covenant.
The Celibacy Covenant, what is that?
It was a critical piece of legislation, a condition laid down by the governing body, the Assembly, when Koen's pack was allowed to reunite after a lot of conflict.
Okay, but Koen's known as a rule breaker, isn't he? Why is this rule so sacred to him?
Because the pack's very existence, its fragile stability, was built on him upholding this specific covenant. It explicitly required him to live apart from any mate he might find.
So breaking it wouldn't just be a personal failing.
It would risk tearing the pack apart, political chaos, maybe even open conflict. He fought incredibly hard to rebuild his pack, so he clung to this rule, became a real stickler for it because it guaranteed their survival. His identity as the stable alpha became intertwined with his required celibacy.
Wow. Okay. So to really grasp why this covenant, this duty, is so absolute for him, we need to understand the history that forged the pack, right? And Serena's connection to it.
Exactly. We have to talk about the past.
Yeah.
Now, Serena does have this public persona. She's known as the hybrid, gives interviews, carefully managing the narrative.
Trying to control the story.
Yeah, partly to protect another younger hybrid named Anna, who is Lo's sister, keep her out of the spotlight. But the real historical weight comes from her family.
Her father, Constantine.
Yes. He wasn't just some minor figure. He led a cult, a fanatical group. He preached that humans could actually become wares.
Which sounds potentially appealing to some, I guess, but dangerous.
Extremely dangerous. It led directly to this massive, brutal conflict the sources just call the Harrowing.
The Harrowing. What exactly was that?
It was apocalyptic for them, not a small battle. It resulted in the deaths of thousands of wares and humans. It fundamentally reshaped their world, their politics. And Koen Alexander, he rose to power from the ashes of the Harrowing. His leadership was forged in that brutality.
Okay, I think I see where this is going. The connection is direct, isn't it?
Painfully direct. Koen, the alpha bound by duty, is biologically mated to a woman whose family tragedy he directly caused.
He was involved in the harrowing actions against Constantine.
Involved doesn't cover it. Koen, as the emerging alpha leader at the time, confirms he sanctioned the killings of Constantine and his followers. And not just sanctioned, he personally carried out some of those killings. Including Serena's mother, Fiona.
Oh, wow. So the man destined to be her mate killed her mother.
Yes. The ultimate act of duty to his future pack was the ultimate betrayal of his future mate's family. It's an almost impossible knot of history and biology.
Does he try to justify it? Excuse it?
No. That's the thing about Koen. He owns it. He tells Serena straight up, I am the alpha of the Northwest. Every move, every action, every killing is sanctioned by me. There's no apology. It implies he saw it as necessary, a sacrifice for the greater good of his people.
That's chilling. The level of conflict there.
It's immense, and this is the man, bound by the celibacy covenant to stay away from her, who now holds her life in his hands because of the CSD.
Right, because her health crisis gets even worse.
It accelerates dramatically. Her cortisol surge disorder symptoms slam headfirst into another biological event, her approaching estrus, or heat.
Estrus, like an animal heat cycle.
Essentially, yes. For a wearer, particularly one with Serena's unstable biology, it's described as bringing unbearable tension. It makes her, quote, a creature made of need beyond thought.
So she's got this degenerative disease, and she's going into a biologically overwhelming heat cycle.
Exactly. It's a perfect storm. The CSD symptoms spike. The estrus pushes her body to the brink. She's basically dying from the illness and the unmet biological imperative of the estrus simultaneously.
Someone must see this as unsustainable.
Layla, the pack's midwife, does. She sees the collision course, and she confronts Koen. She lays it out starkly.
The impossible choice.
The impossible choice. He can uphold the celibacy covenant, maintain the pack's political stability, keep the peace he fought for, or he can break it and be with Serena, which is the only way Layla thinks she'll survive the estrus.
So, law versus life. Pack versus mate.
Precisely. Layla makes it crystal clear. The pack needs its alpha, yes. But Serena needs her mate now, urgently, for survival.
And Koen, the man defined by rules and duty. What does he do?
He chooses Serena.
He breaks the covenant.
Shatters it. Without hesitation, apparently. He completely ignores the political fallout, ignores Serena's own protests about ruining his standing and risking the pack.
She protests, even though she needs him.
Yeah, she understands the political risk to him and the pack, but he overrides her concerns. His focus becomes entirely obsessively on keeping her alive.
How does that manifest? What does he actually do?
He becomes her caregiver, intensely focused, monitoring her temperature constantly, physically forcing her to eat when she can't. He takes complete responsibility.
And the intimacy. The estrus part.
That becomes necessary. The sources frame the initiation of their sexual relationship as almost a medical necessity to manage the severity of the estrus. It's the only way to stabilize her biology during that period. He accepts the huge political cost of breaking that core rule.
But it's more than just medicine, right? It sounds like a turning point.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's the catalyst for the emotional breakthrough. We see that rigid, controlled alpha finally start to crack in a good way.
Is there a specific moment?
There is. During their intimacy, Serena manages to achieve a partial shift into her wolf form, something she couldn't do because of the CSD shift block.
And Koen's reaction.
Pure, unadulterated relief and joy. It's profound. For this man who built his life on control, seeing her reclaim even a part of her power, potentially helped by their connection, it's like this massive weight lifts. The denial just dissolves.
He finally accepts the bond.
Fully, he tells her outright that she is the final product of everything he ever wanted. It's a complete reversal from the alpha fighting biology tooth and nail. Her potential death forced him to confront what truly mattered.
So looking back, the CSD and the estrus, these terrible physical threats, they were actually the key.
They were the crucible. They forced the choice, forced the intimacy, and ultimately forced Koen to reconcile his duty as alpha with his imperative as a mate. Biology forced the emotional honesty.
And this changes him fundamentally, his view of his role.
Completely. Afterwards, he realizes that his intense focus on Serena means he can't lead the pack in the same way. His priorities have irrevocably shifted. He actually makes plans to step down.
He decides to give up being alpha.
Yes. He says, I'm not stepping down. Like, immediately, but I'll wait until the situation with Irene is resolved. Then one of my seconds will take over. He recognizes his new reality.
Wow. So the ultimate act of protecting her, and maybe the pack in the long run, is for him to relinquish the power that defined him.
Exactly. The alpha who built everything on control and sacrifice, specifically the sacrifice of personal connection through the celibacy covenant, ultimately chooses that connection, chooses love, the mate bond over the stability he created.
It's quite the arc, from ruthless pragmatist to, well, something else.
Yeah, and the irony is thick, isn't it? His pack was rebuilt on his rigid control and that celibacy rule. Now he's broken the rule, embraced the bond. What does this new Koen, this arguably softer, mate-focused Koen, mean for the Northwest Pack's future?
That's the lingering question, isn't it? If the pack needed his absolute authority before, what happens now that their leader has prioritized personal connection, happiness even, over that iron fist? What does stability look like when the alpha chooses love?
Something definitely for you to keep thinking about as the ripples of that choice spread.
Indeed. That's your deep dive for today.